Hello everybody. Today I'm going to be teaching you everyone how to make your ballast tanks on your submarine in Barotrauma. I've gotten quite a few requests to make this video on how to teach you to make yourself a ballast tank. A proper ballast tank. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to teach you how to do it. So the very first thing you're going to need for a ballast tank is a room. This room, I would suggest that you make this room at the least a quarter of the size of your sub, or if there are multiple ballast tanks, have the combined space that they take up be at the least a quarter of the sub. Otherwise, the sub will not be affected by the water. Well, it will be affected by the water, just will not be able to go down. The way the ballast tank works is that you will have a pump in here. This pump will pump in water and pump out water to adjust the sub's up and down speed. The more water it has, the faster down it goes. The less water it has, the faster up it goes. The reason why ballast tanks have to be so big compared to the sub is because they're too small. All the air inside the sub will be stronger than the weight of the water. So the buoyancy of the air will be stronger than the weight of the water, therefore lifting up the sub. Ballast tanks have to be this big, or at least the area they take up has to be this big, because once again the water inside the tank has to weigh more than the buoyancy of the air for the sub to move down, which is why I suggest making your ballast tanks quite large compared to the submarine. Like this ballast tank takes about a half of the sub space by comparison, so this sub will start moving down. So the first thing we're going to need in a ballast tank is our pumps. Now, depending on the size of your ballast tank, if you have one tank, let me reword this. The larger your tank is, the better pumps you're going to need. So for this tank, I could use a small pump, but I'm not going to. I'm going to use a large pump. I place it there where this cable holder is. Alright, and go to the pump. Alright, and we're going to have to mess with the pump a little bit for it to properly work. First thing you need to go is go to the tags. Alright, go to tabs and do exactly as I do. You press in your comma and then type in ballast, and then make sure you press enter. And there you go. It is now tagged as a ballast pump. The reason why this has to be is so that way AI, like bots, and the wiring system can understand that this is a ballast pump and not just a normal pump. Second thing you're going to need to do is you're going to go all the way down here to where it says pump and check the is on box. So that way the pump will be turned on when it receives power and is ready to actually start pumping. Next, we're going to have to go into wiring mode. The wiring for ballast tanks are not actually that bad, because all you have to wire is just pumps, or the lights if you happen to have any. So we're going to go to the pump. You'll see all of these little nodes here. There's only two nodes that we're going to be concerned about in this video: the power in and the set target level. Most new players will usually set their wires to set speed, but that is not how you do it. You set it to set target level. So we're going to go and put it on there, and this is where you connect it. So we're going to go and bring it up the cable holder, and we're going to go ahead and bring it all the way up here. And your ballast wire, your set target level, has to go to your navigation terminal and connect to velocity Y out, not X, because Y is up and down, X is side to side. You have to make sure your ballast pump's set target level is at velocity Y out on your navigation terminal. So now we've got that settled. So the pump will know when to move up or down depending on where your navigation terminal is telling the sub to move. But it can't work without its power. I mean, power is essential. So we open up the pump again, and I'm going to use the red wires because I like sorting. And we're going to go to power in. Now this one's actually a little bit easier per se, because all we have to do is connect it to an available junction box that has connection to the power grid. So we're going to go and do this, and boom. There we go. The pump is powered, it's on, it has the ballast tag, and is wired correctly to the navigation terminal. So we're going to go and click test. We're going to go to the navigation terminal and here's just the navigation terminal. We don't have a status monitor, which we should probably have. Status monitors are actually, with status monitors, basically, for those who don't know, status monitors just tell you what, like, basically they give you the entire layout of the sub, and they tell you how much oxygen and water are in each room. So we're gonna go to power in, and we're just gonna real quickly wire this one up. Alright, and I'm gonna do this for 2 reasons. One, because it's good, and 2, it's better to have it there when you're in a ballast tank tutorial. Alright, now let's test. Okay, now we have it. This is the shuttle. We're going to ignore this one. This right here is the ballast tank. You'll notice that the room is blue. The reason why is because the ballast tank, what the game does to check if this is an actual ballast tank, it's 2 things. 1, what the room is named, and 2, what the stuff in the room is currently doing. Right now, the pump in the room is following the orders of the navigation terminal. So this room notices, oh hey, we are a ballast tank. So it will change color. It changes color because the status monitor, rooms will begin to turn red if they get too much water or too much oxygen, or too little oxygen or too much water inside them. Blues that are marked as blue, like ballast tanks and airlocks, will not turn red over time because they are designed to flood. So with the ballast tank, this little, the brighter blue that you see in here, the water level, and the darker blue you see is the not water. This little red square, as you probably know, is what is basically where your sub's going to try to move. So what we're going to do, we're going to go to maintain position, and we're going to tell the sub to move up. You notice the water has begun to drain, and the water level is now at 0%. But because we're telling it to maintain position, the sub is trying to get to one specific spot, which means that the water level, basically the pump is in full control here. So we're going to go and watch the pump in action. You can see it is pumping right now. You can see the water going up and down. And this little valve here, when it's spinning, that's when you know that it's pumping. Or currently, that's what its current actions are, is pumping. So, we're going to let the sub kind of move up. And we're just going to do this. Okay, as you see, the ballast tank will fill up with water to try and balance on the sub and keep it floating. Now what we're going to do is we're going to remove it down. And you'll see the ballast tank completely fill up with water. You'll see my camera kind of move up. That's because the ship's moving quite fast. We're going to go and ditch the shuttle as well, so I can do this tutorial a little better. And just get out of the way. Now you can see our speeds. Anyway, so yeah, as you can see, the ballast tank is now completely filled with water. Hold on, I gotta fix these junction boxes, they're kind of broken. Fix items, okay. So, as you can see, the ballast tank is completely filled with water, all the way up. Which is nothing to panic about, unless it's in here, then yes, panic. But right now, this is the ballast tank. You do not have to panic. So we're going to go to maintain position, and we're going to let the ballast tank drain. And as you can see, the ballast tank is being controlled by the navigation terminal. So that is how you wire your ballast tanks in Barotrauma and make sure they work. Thank you for watching.